Thank you for watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel. You're watching the Solid Sports video blog. This is episode 163. Today's date is January 7th, 2021. This is our special NFL playoff preview. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm Troy Westhead. Thank you so much for watching. I'll give you all my predictions for this year's NFL playoff season. It's finally here, Wildcard round this weekend. Like I said, this is my favorite time of year. This is like a holiday season for me. I love the NFL playoffs. I like it more than any holiday in the world. This is my favorite time of year, so I'm excited. And I'm going to give you all my predictions, who I think will make it to Super Bowl 55 in February. Thank you so much. I just want to, before we get deep into football, I just want to say we know what's going on in D.C. and our nation's capital. Just hope everybody be safe. I actually tried, that's actually my second take. I had to restart the video because the trash man came and made a lot of noise in the background and everything else. And my controller, as you see here, that went out, so I had to start another video. So I kind of went on a diatribe, so I'm not going to go real deep into it. I just wanted to touch on it. It just happened yesterday, less than 24 hours. I'll probably talk more about it on Saturday, my big views on it. But like I said, the clear thing is, which some people have said, if and like I said, I'm not a guy that I judge everybody individually, not by their race, sexuality. We could go to all that, race, whatever you are. I don't judge. I judge people by individuals. But I think the clear thing is, if those people was African American or any other race, it wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have got that far to the inside the Capitol. Something would have been done, and y'all probably could use your imagination on that. It'd be more people dead today than it was yesterday. I put it that way, and that's just a fact. But we'll probably talk a little bit about it Saturday. I don't like politics. I don't like getting into politics. I did mention that. I'm just not a politic guy. I just think it's all a bunch of baloney, to be honest with you. And this has a big factor of what happened yesterday. Social media as well. But I'll probably talk more about it Saturday. We're going to focus on the NFL playoffs today. But Saturday we have some NBA news and more NFL news as well. We'll talk about the Eagles, the drama, which has now been sort of washed away with everything that's going on. But we're going to talk about the non-playoff teams today. We're going to focus on the playoff teams. I'm going to start in the AFC, break down the games for the weekend, and move on to each round. And then I'll do the NFC the same way. And then I'll give my prediction of Super Bowl 55. So speaking of the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs are the 1 seed. So they get a bye. They off this week. They'll wait the winner there, get the lowest seed remaining. So just for example, if somehow the Colts able to upset the Bills, the Colts will go straight to Kansas City because they'll be the lowest seed. It's a guarantee. So most likely, like if the Browns beat the Steelers somehow, like those two teams probably most likely will go straight to Kansas City unless the Colts able to upset them. Unless both teams win, then the Colts will go. So basically the lowest remaining seed will go to the Chiefs, and then whoever's the highest seed left will still be at home, and the other team that's hanging out there, they will go to that team on the road. So, but of course I'm gonna break it down according to what I think is going to happen and set the matchups up and everything. So let's start the AFC. Let's start with the first game of the weekend. The number 2 seed Buffalo Bills will face the Indianapolis Colts. Colts coming in 11-5. Just missed out on winning the division. Sort of limped into the playoffs. They did win to get in against Jacksonville Sunday, but sort of been up and down the last few weeks. Bills been on fire. They really should be 14-2 if you take out that Arizona Hail Mary miracle at the end of that game. If that would have happened, they would be 14-2 right now. It will be possibly a 1 seed, because since the Chiefs lost, I think I don't know if they own the tiebreaker against the Chiefs or not. But I think the Chiefs beat the Bills. I think they played head-to-head this year. I think the Chiefs won. Yeah, I think so. I think that did happen. So they still would have got that. But still, just a game off of being 14-2. So the Bills very formidable. But I think, I got Buffalo winning this game. Buffalo is a 6.5-point favorite. I think that's about right. Phillip Rivers, it'll be up to him. He got his playoff demons from his time in San Diego with the Chargers. Can he play a good game? He had to play a perfect game. Then the coach defense had to show up as well. Josh Allen playing lights out right now. Got the weapons from Stephon Diggs. They had a real good season. They pretty much dominated the AFC East as well. Quietly they did. So winning that division for the first time since 1995. I just think the Bills are rolling. They had fans there. Bills Mafia be out. The funny thing is they try to petition the New York governor Andrew Cuomo for coming to the game. He's been known as a Bills fan in the past, but the Bills fans ain't having it because he banned, all the restrictions with COVID and everything. Bills fans actually don't want him at the game, so we'll see how that works out. That's a funny thing, but I think the Bills win. And just on the flip side, since they're the Tuesday, they definitely won't play the Chiefs next week. It's impossible because they'll be the highest seed remaining, so they will go on and get another home game next week if they take care of business to beat the Colts. And I think they will. Phillip Rivers contemplating retirement. Been rumors about Carson Wentz maybe rejoining with Frank Wright, so we'll see. That's all in the offseason, but I think the Bills will take care of it. I think they're the better team, and I think they'll get it done. I think they beat the Colts and move on to the divisional round. The 3-6 matchup, the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game is Sunday night. Unfortunately for the Browns, they have a lot of COVID issues, so they'll be missing some players. And their head coach, as he contracted COVID-19, so the offensive coordinator had to call the plays. The coach, he usually calls the plays, so that would be different for the Browns. I think the Browns just against the grain here. I don't see how they can win this game. Steelers, they just played last week, the final week of the season. They split because the Browns won to get the playoffs, but the first game, Pittsburgh pretty much dominated them. But the Steelers, you know how they look the last couple of weeks. They haven't looked good. The offense has hit a stalemate. They haven't been moving the ball too well. Been one-dimensional offense. But I think they can do enough to win this game. I just think not having your head coach, I think that matters, especially for a team like the Browns, a young team, Baker Mayfield, and the rest of the guys. But then with COVID, haven't been really practicing like they want to. I just think everything is just against the Browns here, unfortunately. But congratulations for them making the playoffs for the first time since 2002, which is 18 years ago. Good accomplishment. I think they'll build. I think they'll still be a good team next year as well. But I'm going to say this again. I've been saying this all year about the Browns, especially this week. If you got all, really, they could have been, last week game could have been for the division if they just would have beat the Jets the week before. But they went out in that game and threw the ball 50-something times. You got to run the ball, establish a run. I'm not saying don't throw the ball at all, but and don't, like a lot of experts were saying, well, you got to take a chance. You got to sort of go against your game plan. Basically let Baker throw the ball 50 times, but that don't win you games. Like, it was 1-yard games this year, the last 2 years, not just this year. It's running the football. Nick Chubb is a top 5 running back in this league. Give him the ball. Kareem Hunt, you see what he used to do in Kansas City. Ride those two guys and then open up the rest of the offense through them. I mean, that's just not paying for us offensively. Defensively, the Browns have been slacking as well. I mean, Myles Garrett is the one bright spot, but the rest of the defense, they haven't been, as sharp either. And that's why I just think Pittsburgh just the better team right now, and I think they take care of business with the Browns. Now, the Browns is going to be formidable. It's going to be, that division going to be tough with the Ravens as well. Of course, 3 teams in from the north. Pittsburgh win the division. I think Pittsburgh, Big Ben contemplating retirement as well. Now, once he retired, it'll be interesting to see how Pittsburgh do. But he wasn't there last year. They still went 8-8. So I think they definitely probably draft a quarterback this year. And think about the future. But as far as this game, I think the Steelers will win it. I think they will move on. So that means that will set up a meeting with the Buffalo Bills. That means in our last AFC Wildcard game, the Titans will host the Baltimore Ravens. This is a rematch from last year's playoffs and a rematch from earlier this year with the Titans winning both. The overtime thriller back, I think it would have say late November. They played Derrick Henry, another monster game. But I think, well, like I said, I always throw this out there because, I mean, it might be a little biased. I'm not going to say it's not. I'm a Ravens fan. But I think Lamar Jackson with the playoff, he got playoff ghosts already, losing the last 2 seasons. Titans, like I said, Titans, if they get, I think this game will go a long way. Like, this would be a big dent in the playoffs. I think both of these teams are capable of not just winning this game, obviously, but going our way and challenging the Chiefs as well. So this is, to me, this game, whoever win this game will put themselves in a good position to keep rolling and maybe make it all the way to Super Bowl 55. But I'm not going to go against my preseason predictions. I had Baltimore and Seattle coming out, meeting in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to change that, so that already gives you my NFC pick. But I'll break that down game by game. I think the Ravens win this game. I think Lamar get that monkey off his back and play loose. I think they're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl, and we're going to break down game by game how they're going to do that. I think all the Ravens got to worry about, like, contain Derrick Henry. You might be able to stop and contain him. Sort of Ryan Tannehill, I'm going to say that he's proven me wrong the last couple of years. I thought he was an average quarterback, but you have to say he's a top 10 quarterback. What he's done the last year and a half now for the Titans. He makes the throws when he needs to make the throws. He's mobile. AJ Brown and that receiver core for the Titans. So the Titans' weakness to me is their defense. This year, their defense haven't been able to stop nobody. I think the Ravens will take advantage of that. They'll be able to run the ball, run their full offense, and I think the Ravens will do enough. They think they win the Titans. I think it'll be another close thriller game. But I think this time the Ravens will come out on top and move on. So that's set up in the AFC divisional round. That sets up the Baltimore Ravens at the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bills at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, Steelers at the Bills, excuse me. I'm going to start with the Ravens and Chiefs. Chiefs, 14-2, another good year for Patrick Mahomes, another MVP type year. But just like the Steelers, the Chiefs they've been winning games, but haven't looked sharp. And then they rested everybody in week 17, which was last week. I think that will hurt them this year. I think the Ravens go up there and they somehow win that game. I'm just going to go by, like I said, my preseason prediction. I'm not going to go against it. I think, like I said, Lamar be playing very well. He's played well against the Chiefs. This Mahomes has just carved up his defense. Lamar actually has played well, even though they haven't beat the Chiefs the last couple times. But he has played well. I think he'll play well again. I think Pat Mahomes start off slow, but I think they won't be able to come back against the Ravens the way the Ravens run their offense. I think the Chiefs get the hole and they won't come back this time. I think the Ravens get it done. I think they upset the Chiefs in the divisional round. Another matchup, Steelers and Bills. I'm going to go with the Bills here. I think the Steelers, the way they play will catch up to them. I think the Bills will still be rolling. And they'll move on to the AFC Championship. I think I'm not going to predict that Big Ben will retire or not. He might not. But I think the Bills will be able to. Actually, they played this year. I think the Bills won a couple of weeks ago, and that's how they got the 2 seed. And I think it'll be pretty much the same. The Steelers can't run the ball. They throw these short little passes. I just don't like the way the Steelers look, and I think the Bills will take advantage of that. So I got the Bills and the Ravens meeting in the AFC Championship game. I think the Bills' magic will end here. I think the Ravens will get it done. They got the more experience, and I think that will hold true. I think the Ravens will make it to Super Bowl 55 as a 5, as they run all the way through the playoffs on the road. I think they go. This would be a tough road. That'd be crazy. Beat the Titans, the Chiefs, and the Bills. It sounds impossible. And maybe it's just the fan in me thinking it's going to happen. I really believe that theory that if Lamar can win this game this weekend, I think he'll be loose. I think the rest of the organization will be loose. I think they give him confidence, and I think they will ride that all the way to Super Bowl 55. So I got the Baltimore Ravens coming out the AFC. Let's move on to the NFC. Packers get the 1 seed. So they'll be off in the wildcard round this weekend. So we got Saints, Bears. That's 7-2. We got Seahawks, Rams. NFC West rematch there. And Washington football team hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we're going to start with the Bears and the Saints. This is actually a rematch from this season. These two teams has played remember a playoff game, the NFC Championship. I remember, from back when the Bears made the Super Bowl. Saints, they playoff rules for the last few years. Bears been surprised though. They lost to the Packers this week, but Mr. Trubisky has played well, and he gets up to the playoffs. Will it be enough to still keep his job, or will the Bears still try to look for somebody to replace? But I think you just stick with him. I think he's the type of guy, if you build a nice offense around him, I think he can be successful, as you're seeing here this season. They should have known with the Nick Foles. I didn't understand it at the time why they was going to him if Trubisky was winning. Why, go to Foles. Foles came in there, he didn't play that well, he had to go back to Mitch, and he's held on to the job ever since. But I think the Saints just too good for the Bears. I think the Bears, they played an overtime game. The Saints won in overtime, so they played them pretty tough. But I think the Bears went to get turnovers. They just had to play a perfect game, and I just don't think it'll be enough. I think the Saints will make their mark, at least for this round, get by the Bears and win. Let's see, what's the spread of this game? This game is till Sunday afternoon. This is the middle game. Saints 10-point favorite. Now that's too high. I think 10 points is too high. I think that should be lower. But I got the Saints winning at home. Seahawks, Rams. Third meeting between these two teams. They're division rivals. They split. Rams winning at home. Seahawks winning at home. Rams, they still, Jared Goff still won't be playing in this game, which might be, some people think it might be a good thing. They did win last week against the Cardinals, but that was the Cardinals. Cardinals was sort of trending down since that Hail Mary game. They haven't looked good, so they missed the playoffs just barely by a game. Now, I think it'll be a tight game. Seahawks been a half and half team this year. The offense was hot the first half of the season. Now the offense is struggling. Now the defense was bad in the first half. Now the defense is caught up and is playing well. Now the offense is sort of inconsistent. Russell Wilson is inconsistent, but I believe in Russell Wilson, and that's why I picked them to get out the NFC. But this is going to be probably one of their toughest games to get there because the Rams with Aaron Donald, they know the Seahawks. They might can slow them down, but I think the Seahawks make more plays. And I think the young quarterback, Wolf, or whatever his name is, I think it'll be too much for him. I think Seattle will take advantage of that. They win this game at home and move on to the next round. This game got a lot of buzz. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Washington football team. Of course, the Washington winning the NFC East despite being 7-9. A whole lot of drama with that. We'll talk more about that on Saturday. We'll talk about the Eagles, the Cowboys. We'll talk about that whole division probably on Saturday. But for this weekend, this game is Saturday night. Tampa seems like they got it together. They've been rolling the last few weeks, even though they, the competition ain't been as to par. I think they beat the Falcons twice during this 5-game winning streak. I think they won 5 in a row. I think they were 6-5. And now they're 11-5 coming into this game. A lot of people sort of picking Washington, probably want to, poke their chest out. Washington do have a great defensive front with that first round front line, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, and the rest of that front line. I think they will give Tampa Bay some problems here and there during the game. Alex Smith is still hurt, and I think that hurts the Washington football team. So they think Coach Rivera said he's going to go between him and the backup. Of course, the Dwayne Haskins is gone, as they cut him a couple weeks ago. Kyle Allen, I think, is they backup, so they might rotate them in. I don't think that's a good idea, and I don't think. Like I said, I just don't think, even if they give Tom Brady problems as far as pressuring them, I just think Tampa is going to figure it out, make some big plays eventually. I don't see the Washington scoring a lot of points, and that's just the issue here. They might be able to slow Tampa down, but I think Tampa is still making some plays despite that. I don't see Washington scoring more than 20 points. I think they would have to score on defense and special teams. If they don't get nothing from those scoring wise, they can slow them down. But if they don't get a pick six or maybe a fumble return or something like that, I don't see Washington winning. I just don't see it. Some people do. I just don't see it. If Alex Smith was healthy, maybe. I just don't see it though. I think Tampa will move on and win this game and get to the divisional round. So that set up a matchup between, they went to go to Green Bay. Tampa Bay will go to Green Bay, which will be a rematch, and Seattle will play the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Let's start with Tampa at Green Bay. I think Green Bay will win this game. I think this Tampa, even though Tom Brady used to play in the bad weather, it's most likely to be bad weather up there. It's not just because of weather. I just think Green Bay, even though they destroyed Green Bay in the regular season, in Tampa, but I think Green Bay will get revenge for that. I think Devontae Adams playing that game. I think he did. I'm not sure. I know they was missing somebody, but still, I think that was more of an aberration. Tom Brady, never bet against Tom Brady. He's proved me wrong many years when I said New England, this is it for New England, this is it for New England, this is it. He wound up winning 3 more Super Bowls since I said that. It's going to be interesting. This is probably an interesting game. I think Green Bay will get it done. I think they move on to the NFC Championship game. I think Seattle will go to New Orleans. I think the New Orleans playoff woes continue. Maybe something crazy happened to get in this game. But I think Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf, I think they get it done. I think they somehow beat the Saints. The Saints defense has been very, very good this year. It's just really a coin flip game, but just me being stubborn. I think Seattle somehow pulls it out. I think they win. So that set up Seattle and Green Bay in the NFC Championship game. I think Seattle wins. Like I said, but even Russell Wilson, I think he somehow gets it done. Go back home to Wisconsin and play as well. I think it'll be a tight, close game. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, he'll get to the NFC Championship game, but just never get over the hump. I think that will continue. And I think Seattle somehow gets it done. So that sets up Super Bowl 55, which I think will be the Baltimore Ravens and Seattle Seahawks. Now, I don't feel great and comfortable about this game, about this happening. Seattle will have a tough role. So will the Ravens. Like I said, the Ravens, to me, will beat, in my prediction, will beat the Titans. the Chiefs and the Bills, like it sounds crazy. Like I said, even me saying that out loud. In Seattle, like I said, the Rams game's gonna be tough for them. And then if they see New Orleans. Honestly, like if you put me, under the gun and I had the best of money, I would bet New Orleans will come out the NFC. If they could, somehow Green Bay falls. I don't think they can go up at Green Bay and win though. So that's why, I feel more comfortable that Seattle can do it. But you can't blame nobody for taking the Packers with them having a home field and the weather element as well. But I'm just not going to go against my preseason predictions. So I talked my way into Seattle and Baltimore because like I said, they both can fall. Like I said, the Titans game not going to be easy. I think that's going to be a tough game for them. But like I said, I'm going to go by if they could get over that game and get over that mental. I think it's more mental for the Ravens. If they can get that mental, we can win the playoff game off their shoulders. Particularly Lamar Jackson. I think they can roll that to some momentum. I think Seattle, I think it's the same thing. If they can beat the Rams, maybe they get their mojo back. I think they can go New Orleans and win. The Green Bay game I'm worried about more than those two games for Seattle, and just the way they looked or offense lately has me trepidation. There's so many different areas. Like the Chiefs are still going to be the Chiefs. I just think, like I said, this year get that bye. I think if it's the Ravens they play in that division round, I just think they will get down by 14 or something like that. They was down. Well, that's how they won all their playoff games last year. I think and that's how they won this year. I think it's just going to catch up with them this time, and that's why I think the Ravens can beat them this time. And so I'm gonna stick with that. I wouldn't be shocked if any of these teams, only team probably the AFC the longest shot, even though they're the 6th seed, is the Browns. I think the Browns, if they can get by this, I'll be shocked if they beat Pittsburgh this weekend or go any further than that. I think the Colts have a better chance than the Browns, being at 7. But the Titans, like I said, they're capable. You see what they did last year. The Bills, the way they playing, could definitely call the AFC as well. NFC, Green Bay, they did number 1 seed, and like I said, the advantages they have wouldn't shock me at all. Saints have looked good the majority of the year. So those two teams are capable. Like I said, I got Seattle coming out. Tampa as well, they capable. Even though they be in the 5, I think if they were somehow able to win that division, instead of the Saints, I think it would be a better position. But they have to go on the road. That's why I think they long shot. I think Washington would be the longest shot. I think the Bears actually have a better shot because I think they can at least score some points, despite how good their defense is. I think the Washington just can't score, and the Rams, to me, those two. I think the Rams, Washington, and the Bears. I'd be shocked if they get anywhere this postseason. So that's my predictions for the NFL playoffs. Like I said, we're focused more deeply into the games that's just this weekend. We talk about all that Saturday, so come back and join me Saturday for that. I thank you guys for joining me this morning. I'm tired. I've been working hard this week. I'm just glad I didn't doze off for you guys. Record the video. Like I said, I had to record the video twice because I had some issues with the first recording. So as far as the channel itself, I haven't done any video game. I haven't done Cyberpunk in a couple of days. I might try to do one today. I got a couple of hours off, so I might try to do the Cyberpunk. I'm really trying to finish off Spider-Man since I'm so close to finishing that. So I'm gonna try to focus on that, finish that off, and then I'll probably go back to Cyberpunk. I'll definitely be back Saturday with another blog. We'll talk more NBA. Philadelphia 76ers is the hot team right now. We'll talk about them Saturday in the East. And we look at some lowlights as well. So we're talking some NBA. Like I said, no baseball news. So I might not talk too much about baseball. We'll focus on the NFL playoffs as well Saturday as well. We'll focus on just this weekend games, and we'll go by Saturday and Sunday as well. So my prediction, like I said, Ravens and Seahawks And also, I didn't predict my winner. I think Ravens will beat the Seahawks in Super Bowl 55. That's my prediction. And I'm just going to stick with it till one of these teams are knocked off, and they both could lose this weekend. Like I said, they're capable of losing they playoff matchup this weekend. So my prediction can get thrown right out the window, and I had to rethink my predictions. But thank you so much. Thank you for being patient with me. Like I said, everybody stay safe, take care of one another, love one another more. Hopefully our country is getting better. We'll see with the next administration do. We only got 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks before Mr. Biden is sworn in as our new president. There's a lot of chaos going on right now, so hopefully things get better. Hopefully we have some peace in this country. That's all I ever hope for. And I thank you guys for listening to me today. Enjoy the playoffs this weekend. This is my favorite time of year. I love it. I can't wait. A lot of monster games, a lot of storylines into this playoffs. Hopefully some teams will stay away from COVID. I feel sorry for the Browns. Unfortunate that COVID is hitting them so hard right now, and now they got to go into the game with a monster disadvantage. Other than that, like I said, you can argue that they could beat the Steelers, but I just don't see it happening, despite especially with the COVID issues they have. So hopefully other teams can stay clean, and we won't have no competitive disadvantages like that. I'm Troy West said, thank you so much for watching. You're watching the Solid Sports and Gamer channel right here on YouTube via the PlayStation Network, and I'll see you guys Saturday, and I thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.